Survivor Syndrome, we are reliving 2017. Hey everyone, welcome to the show. This will be the final episode of 2017, so I thought it'd be a good time to look back. I made a list of every game I finished during 2017. Now, this is... The parameters are that I needed to finish the game for it to go on this list. Credits rolling. Let's get started. We're gonna go in chronological order. First game on this list, Halo 5 Guardians. What? Terrible game. Skip it. Just skip it. Run that franchise into the ground. That campaign, not good. The good news is, it's all uphill here. It's all uphill from here. Because next on the list, Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep. As you can see, these are two older games. The majority of the games on here are from 2017, but there's always a little holdover. There's always a little carryover. You know, it's gonna happen with 2018. You're gonna play some 2017 games in 2018. Hopefully for me, it's Nier Automata. I don't know though. I'm trying to go through it. Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep though, jolly vibes. I gotta finish the fight. 2.8. I'm really close. Next up was Titanfall 2. Titanfall 2, I feel terrible for this game because it is amazing and it deserved more time. It deserved more love and respect. Titanfall 2 fell down to no man's land. Sad. After that was Sniper Elite 4. Jolly game. You want to know why? First game of the year where we got to kill some Nazis. And oh boy, it is not the last. After that, it was Resident Evil 7. You know, when Resident Evil 7 was first announced, I was shocked. I was surprised. First person, I was so confused, but I was so open to it because Resident Evil, time and time again, reinvents itself. And for Resident Evil 7 to be as good as it is just a gift. It is a gift from Capcom. It is a gift to Resident Evil fans, the franchise. And then we ended the year with some beautiful DLC. Joe Baker. Just, Capcom, you got something here, all right? Joe Baker, just put him in everything. Put him in all your games. Super Ghouls and Ghosts with Joe Baker. Make it happen. After that was For Honor. A lot of hype for For Honor for me, as you know. Vikings, Axes, Jason Vandenberg, just a beautiful soul, a beautiful human. You know, For Honor is one of those games that I absolutely adore and love, and it makes me sad because I just don't have enough time to keep playing it. I would love to keep playing For Honor, but there's just not enough hours in the day. Alice, there's just not enough. Because after For Honor, you know, you beat the campaign, you're playing multiplayer. What do you see on the store shelves? You see Yakuza 0. The Dragon of Dojima, rising in the West. Talk about franchise-changing, game-changing release. Yakuza 0, bringing awareness to the West. You look at this franchise now versus 2 years ago. Holy moly, completely different landscape. Yakuza is now a hyped franchise in America, and it feels good. After that was Horizon Zero Dawn, a fresh new IP in 2017. Feels good. A lot of sequels in 2017. I love sequels. I love franchises. I'm all about it. But it's also nice to have some new IPs. The reason I loved Horizon Zero Dawn was how awesome the combat was, surprisingly. You know, I assumed, it's going to be another open world. You're just going to be like Shadow of War, Middle Earth, you know, you're just gonna wreck everyone. And it's like, no, you actually had to pay attention and zone in. Even if you were over leveled, you know, you could still die in a couple hits. You know, those dinos just swarm you. Feels good. Still haven't played the DLC yet though. Gotta get to that. After that, a little thing called the Nintendo Switch launched, and you know how I broke it in? A little couch co-op with my man Brad Ellis, Shock Troopers. Felt good, you know? Used the Switch in the intended format, propped it up on the table, had the Joy-Cons, couch co-op, made the Switch. It felt great. Because then you dive into The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. Do I even need to say anything about this game? It's like a masterpiece. It's like playing Mozart's symphony on your TV. I don't even know. I just tried to think of the most beautiful thing. I went to Mozart. I'm speechless. There it is. Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. I am speechless. Completely changed the way I look at open worlds and the way I interact with open worlds in video games. Just a marvelous game. After that was Night in the Woods. If you love Life is Strange and you have not played Night in the Woods, do so right now. Just go play it. Very similar to Life is Strange. Coming of age story. Beautiful little game. Check it out. Then it was Parappa the Rapper Remastered. You know what, Kyle? Some games just don't age well. This is one of them. I did not have fun with Parappa the Rapper Remastered. I'm sorry. You know, I just didn't. I felt like to get through the game was luck. Kyle, I'm sure will disagree. Who knows? I wasn't feeling it. Next was Outlast 2. You want to talk about horror games. You want to talk about scares. Because what a beautiful year for horror. It just blows me away. 2017. You know, there's many types of horror, but there's two really sides of horror. There's like psychological horror, messing with your mind, and then there is, hello, jump out of your pants, jump out of a closet, someone comes up behind you, and that is exactly what Outlast 2 is. Very, very, very terrifying game, very disturbing, very dark. If you want to be frightened, check it out. Next up was a random one. You know, some of these games on here, I'm like, what? I beat this? I beat this game. Stories: The Path of Destinies. Kind of an isometric, top-down, hack and slash. You're like a wolf character. You can go on different paths. It was a fun little game. Next was BULLETSTORM Full Clip Edition. You can watch our streams on twitch.tv/EasyAllies. A little plug right there. The reason I played this was because I grew up as a youth in the 90s, a young little lad in the 90s, and who did I look up to? Ill-advised role model in the 90s? Duke Nukem. The hell am I thinking? Duke Nukem as a role model? Come on. What Remains of Edith Finch was next. Once again, another beautiful video game in 2017. The makers of Unfinished Swan. If you like Unfinished Swan, if you like walking simulators, never, ever say walking simulator when I'm around, okay? Just don't do it. Interactive narrative. How about that? What Remains of Edith Finch. Game about family, about life, about cutting fishes' heads off. Check it out. Injustice: Gods Among Us, one of the best fighting game stories I have ever played in my life. Raising the bar yet again, NetherRealm, out of control. Once again, not enough time in the day. I would love to get good at fighting games. I would love to enter Ben's dojo every week, but there's just not enough time. But I would love to be good at fighting games. How fun would that be? Just go online and just wreck people? I wonder what that's like. I'm sorry. That was Injustice 1. I'm sorry. Because I caught up for Injustice 2. So Injustice 1 was fine, but everything I just said about Injustice 2 holds true. It'd be fun to go on online and just wreck people. Injustice 1 was good. Also, Prey. Polarizing game this year. Very polarizing game. You know, similar to Dishonored and Deus Ex, Prey, you're on a spaceship. You're fighting aliens that can morph into objects. You never know when you're safe. Wow. What an interesting game. You know, I really enjoyed my time with Prey. It didn't stay with me like I thought it would. The story, I mean. The story just didn't stay with me as much as I thought it would because I really liked the story going through it. Definitely try to play it on PC. You know, the controller with the wrench and like trying to hit things in this game. The mimics are like flying everywhere. Really hard. Play on PC if you can. Next up, Vikings Wolves of Midgard. What are these games? This is like a Diablo game, but you're a Viking. So obviously I played. Really, really janky, but really, really fun. After that was ARMS. Was really hyped on this game before it came out. Not so hyped anymore. Sorry, ARMS. Really like your art style. Really like that opening theme song. Oh, really, really cool. You know, you have something there, ARMS. You have something. You're so close. You're so close. Again, maybe I'm just not good enough at fighting games to really love it as much as I should. But yeah, I just didn't connect with ARMS fully. Wow, we gotta start rolling through these. I beat a lot of games this year. Next was Little Nightmares. Once again, horror 2017, one of the great years. Little Nightmares, kind of like Inside, but not really like kind of like Inside. You go through, you know, your little thing, and you go through. I don't want to say anything because the less you know, the better. Little Nightmares, check it out. Next is my least favorite game on this entire list. Please don't judge me for finishing this game all the way through. Sniper Ghost Warrior 3. They went open world this time, and it did not pay off. Lot of problems with this game. I just really like sniping a lot, you know? Ranged filth. I love sniping in single-player games, like I Sniper Elite 4. Just don't play that one. Next, I streamed Last of Us Left Behind Remastered because I hadn't played the remastered version of the expansion Left Behind. You can just never get enough Last of Us. You can just never get enough. Brings us to The Walking Dead: A New Frontier. This was an interesting an interesting take. I respect the effort of Telltale here to mix it up with The Walking Dead. They went a different way with it, and I respect that. And I was kind of down on it until the end when they announced that next season is going to be the finale, the last season. That made this season even better, you know, kind of building up to it. And I appreciate that. Next up was Watch Dogs 2. Again, this is a game that came out last year, but this is one of my favorite games that I've played this year. Out of all these games, Watch Dogs 2 stands tall. Check it out. Do not let Watch Dogs 2 slip through the cracks and pass you by. It is a phenomenal open world. If you like open worlds, if you like technology, like just hacking and stuff, like Mr. Robot style, check out Watch Dogs 2. It is even better than the first one. I know a lot of people didn't like the first one. I promise it's a lot better. There's a great cast. You know, you can look at this game, you can look at this cast on a surface level and brush them off, but once you dive deep into these characters, you will be rewarded. You will be pleased. Check it out. Next was Nex Machina from the creators of something. What was it? It was Nex Machina and Resogun, there it is, Resogun, thank you, Brad. Nex Machina, kind of a Resogun situation. Very sad news that they are not making these types of games anymore because Nex Machina and one that I'm getting to later on, Matterfall, they just didn't sell well, and that is very sad because Nex Machina is awesome. Check it out. Next was the absolute pinnacle of swimming in sevens, a game called Get Even. Get Even. Check it out. Swimming in sevens. the culmination of swimming in sevens. Like, look out, Enslaved Odyssey of the West. Get Even is coming. You have a gun that can peek around corners. Bizarre game. Once again, the less you know, the better. Check it out. Hellblade's Senua's Sacrifice. Was really happy to see the love and respect of the Game Awards for Hellblade. Ninja Theory is one of my favorite development studios of all time. They can never seem to catch a break, and finally they did with Hellblade. You know, they have Heavenly Sword, Enslaved Odyssey to the West, and DMC, which I know a lot of people don't like. Don't criticize DMC when I'm around as well. I'm kidding. You can criticize it. It's fine. I love DMC, okay? Give DMC another chance. Play the definitive edition, 60 frames per second, like the original should have been. Give it another shot. Anyway, Hellblade. Never really played anything like that game. Definitely play with headphones. That was an experience, as Kyle would, you know, tisk, but it really was. There's nothing like it, and it just shows the power of what a video game can be. Next, Uncharted: The Lost Legacy. Dude, Nadine Ross, Chloe Fraser. Dude, Nadine Ross, probably my favorite character this year. One of. We're getting to my favorite character this year. Loved this game. I would completely be fine if the future of Uncharted was Lost Legacies, you know, just these 5-hour, $40 standalone expansion chunks. That would be amazing. Who knows if that's going to happen? Lost Legacy, what a ride. What a thrill. Next was Nidhogg 2. Still waiting for tournament night. Nidhogg 2, allies, help us out. Nidhogg 2, really want to play on stream. Really want to play with Brad. Not going to happen, I guess. Persona 5. Spoiler alert. Probably shouldn't say this. It's my GOTY, period. End of story. End of discussion. Game of the year. Hands down. Best in the biz. Best JRPG I've ever played. One of the best video games I've ever played. Combat's amazing. Characters are amazing. Ryuji is my brother from another mother. It is... I can't even begin to praise Persona 5. You know, just watch Ben Moore's review of Persona 5. It's the best review I've ever seen in my life. I'm not kidding around. If I was a teacher in college teaching video game journalism, I would say, do this. And it would be Ben Moore's Persona 5 review. Watch it. But there's probably some spoilers in there, so be careful if you haven't finished Persona 5. I love Persona 5. Oh my gosh. Persona 5 is took me 95 hours, and I didn't want it to end. You ever get that feeling when you play a game that's like 10 hours and you're checking your watch? You're like, come on. Or you're in a 2-hour movie and you're looking at your watch like, enough. Yeah, Persona, triple it, man. Be 300 hours, please. Sonic Mania. Oh, you got something here. You got something here, Sega. Like I said, Streets of Rage Mania. You start digging in the well of old Sega games and you start remixing them. Let's make that happen. Absolver. Cool little fighting game. Got to play with Ian Hank. Check that stream out on twitch.tv/EasyAllies. It's kind of like a For Honor, Dark Souls stuff in there. Really fun game. Next was Matterfall. Once again, from the Next Machina and Resogun team. Not as good as Next Machina. So if you're going to pick one, check out Next Machina. Matterfall tried to have story and a little bit of a story in there, and it just, yeah, it wasn't great, but it wasn't bad. Rolling right along, Everybody's Golf. Check it out. Hit the greens. So cozy. So jolly. Absolutely love it. Next was Knack 2. Knack 2 is an atonement. It's actually a really good game. We full played through that on twitch.tv/EasyAllies. Check that full playthrough out. Knack 2. Hell of a game. Destiny 2. Destiny 2, the launch was so amazing. It was so great. What happened? We're in a bad place for Destiny right now. But the same thing happened with Destiny 1, so there's hope. Destiny 1 had the Taken King and just flipped it over. You know, we're good. We're good after taking King. Destiny 2, we are one expansion away from being right back on track. Don't give up. Don't lose faith. Don't lose hope. Destiny 2, coming back. We're coming back. SteamWorld Dig 2, do not skip it. Do not sleep on it. One of my favorite games on this entire list. Phenomenal game. Metroidvania style. Tying into SteamWorld Dig and SteamWorld Heist. Some overarching lore. The SteamWorld cinematic universe. Dive in. Hell of a soundtrack. Just a feel-good game. Check it out. Good economy. You want to talk about best economy on the list? SteamWorld Dig 2. Next one. We're almost done. If Kyle's out there, we're almost done. Evil Within 2. Straight up. Straight up. I'm not gonna. No. I was gonna say, yeah. I don't like comparing things. I don't like saying it's my favorite over one of them. So I have two favorite. Persona 5 and Evil Within 2. They can share the spotlight. Favorite games of 2017. Evil Within 2 is going down in history as one of my favorite survival horror games of all time. It's like a greatest hits of the genre. They keep flipping it on its head. You're in a haunted house. You're in an open world. You're crafting, you're shooting, you're stealthing, you're sneaking, you're fighting, you're boss fighting. It is so good. Hell of a game. Hell of a climax. Evil Within 2. We full playthrough that also on twitch.tv/easyallies. Check that. We full playthrough quite a bit here. So check that one out. Rolling right along. Almost done. Assassin's Creed Origins. I was pretty harsh in the review on this game, but that doesn't mean I don't like it. I love Assassin's Creed Origins. I was just expecting a little more after the year off, after the Origins title, you know, go back to the beginning, prequel. Super fun. Ancient Egypt is such a great place to explore. They're still supporting this game, which is really nice. They're adding things in. They're adding that like tour mode in, like National Geographic. Just go see the sights and sounds. Really good characters. I don't want to spoil anything. If you like Assassin's Creed and you missed it, check it out. Super Mario Odyssey. Now is finally the time. Spoilers. Right now. Beware. Spoilers. I purposefully did not mention, did not say a word, did not tweet anything about Super Mario Odyssey because I wanted everyone to experience it for themselves. I didn't want to give anything away. Favorite moment of 2017, throwing the hat on Bowser, taking over Bowser, seeing Bowser's memories, going berserk as Bowser, then like jumping into the wall, Peach on your shoulders. It's out of control. It was a dream come true. Super Mario Odyssey is the dream. It is pure joy. It is happiness in a game cartridge. When you want to be happy, just slap it in. It's better than drugs. Next up is Ruiner. Don't skip this one. Really cool game. Isometric style. Sci-fi. If you love science fiction noir stories, check it out. It's got a really cool combat flow. You're like diving in, melee combat, diving out, shooting, dive in, melee. Awesome game. Check it out. Call of Duty World War II. Shooting Nazis never gets old. Kill them all, shoot them all, burn them with the flamethrower if you get the chance in HDR. One of the most satisfying effects of 2017 is a Nazi screaming for their lives as they're burning in HDR. Do it. You owe it to yourself. Star Wars Battlefront 2. Skip. Wolfenstein 2. The New Colossus, once again shooting Nazis, has the best gun of 2017. The giant laser beam that disintegrates disintegrates Nazis. Nazis, zombies, they're combined now because of Call of Duty. Wolfenstein 2 New Colossus is a crazy game. It demands something out of you as a player, You cannot be a passive participant in Wolfenstein 2. Hard game to get through on so many levels. It's difficult as a game and as a story. So buckle up. Hard game to get through. Check it out. Next one, Mummy Demastered. Way forward, doing work, giving us the Metroid game we deserve. Mummy Demastered, a tie-in to the movie. Who knew? Who knew that a Mummy tie-in would be so awesome? I streamed that as well. Check that out. Dead Space 3, finally got through that one. Bet complete. Well, almost complete. I got to go through the DLC. Hopefully, I'll do that before the year ends. The DLC is like an hour. I already bought it, installed it, ready to go. Almost done. Dead Space 3. Cat Quest, Hidden Gem. Check it out. Planet of the Apes Last Frontier. Weird game. It's like a Telltale game, but you can never move around. It's just choices, dialogue choices. It's set in between Planet of the Apes 2 and 3. Andy Serkis actually did motion capture for it. If you like the Planet of the Apes movies, check it out. 2 more. Brandon Jones let me borrow his VR. Finally got to go through Batman Arkham VR. So much fun. I was media blackout on this for the entire time because I knew one day I would get to play it. And it was just so fun being in the Batcave. There's one really, really awesome scene where you get to watch a fight scene play out, and it's just incredible. And lastly, Until Dawn, Rush of Blood. If you are afraid of spiders, do not play this game. It is terrifying. It felt like spiders were actually crawling on my body. It freaked me out. That is it for the list of games I have finished. There is one more. I don't want to end on Until Dawn, so I'm going to end on Life is Strange Before the Storm because the final chapter comes out tonight. And prequels have the potential to go down a derivative kind of meaningless path. You kind of know what's coming. You know what's going to happen. Not Before the Storm. You get some incredible insight into Chloe and into these characters that you know from the original Life is Strange. Check it out. Before the Storm. Finale tonight. I'm so excited. Then they're doing like an episode 0 bonus episode, which I'm really excited for. And then one day Life is Strange 2. But yeah, those were the games I beat in 2017. As you can see, Nier Automata is not on here. I'm trying to go through that. Mario and Rabbids also. Spoiler alert, I loved like 90% of these games. They're so good. It was a heck of a year. That pen just broke and fell off. I didn't mean to be so violent. 2017, gamers won. Gamers were the only winners in 2017. Straight up, one of the best years of gaming of all time. Draft your tweets. Going down in history. Look out, 1998. Nostalgia is not gonna keep you at the top forever because 2017 is so good. We are gonna be gone. Syndrome's gone for a little while. We'll be back next year. So no Talking Syndrome, no Huber Syndrome for a couple weeks as I recover. As you can see, I'm sick. I'm delirious right now. I don't even know really what I was saying this whole episode. I hope I was coherent. Brad, was I coherent for most of it? Yeah, okay. Well, mostly. Good. All right. Brad, do you want us to say anything about 2017? Feels good to be a gamer in 2017. So many greats. Stay tuned for our Game of the Year coverage. We're doing it a little later this year because we want everyone to be able to go through a lot of these games and really take the deep dive into what is the best, what stands out, all these genres, all these games. Spoilers, Persona 5, Persona 5, Persona 5, Persona 5, Persona 5. See you next year.